One for each of you. Mark Schwartz, ESPN. Klay, Steve Kerr called Draymond a wrecking ball tonight. See, he was right. How would you quantify?
There it goes.
How would you quantify and describe what he brought to the game tonight with the ball in his hands in transition?
I mean, his stat line's ridiculous. 4 steals. I mean, doing it on both ends, plus 16. But it's nothing new. I've seen him do it for 7 years. Just filling up the box score, and he's like a secondary point guard out there, and he relieves so much pressure from me and Steph, being able to play off the ball, and his ability to make plays out of the pick and roll is probably the best ever. So he makes us go, and especially when he pushes that pace. So I'm proud of Dre, and I know he's not satisfied.
Kevin not on the floor, more is needed from you as an initiator and a playmaker. How does that, having the ball in your hands, lead to the kind of thing we saw out there tonight?
Well, I think for me, when Kevin's not on the floor, I know I have to be more aggressive. And so whether that's attacking the basket, putting more pressure on the defense, I understand that. And I think it's very easy to just try to get these guys to make more and more shots when Kevin's not on the floor. But, it can't put that much pressure on them. So I just try to take it upon myself to really push the pace, get the tempo to where we want it, and then still, try to make plays for other guys as well.
Hey, Draymond, Phil Barber, Santa Rosa Press, Democrat. It seems like there's been a few times lately when things have slowed down or got a little static for the team, and you've been the one that's pushed the pace, get the rebounds out, get in transition. And I'm wondering, how important is pace to you for this team, and what is it that makes you sense when it's time to start driving that?
Well, I think, when you're playing against a set defense every time, it's tough. And so, for me, even when it's not necessarily to push it to score every time. It's just to kind of get the pace where we wanted to get the defense on their heels and then to allow him and Steph to do what they do. But you can kind of feel, when our offense is kind of getting a little bogged down or, another team is starting to make a run. I like to push it more when they're starting to make their run, because then the guy starts to get excited, they hit a shot, and they relax, and you just push it back. And I think that helps change the momentum. Our coaching staff and all my teammates have been preaching to me this whole series about just getting the ball and pushing it, getting it and pushing it. And so I just tried to, bring that to the game, and tonight it was successful for us.
John Dickinson, 95.7 The Game. Draymond, after Jordan missed that dunk, that could have been a turning point or a momentum changer. Coach Kerr stuck with him. You had some words for him. Just what did you have to say to Jordan, and how key was it for Steve to stick with him in that moment?
I think it was very big for Steve to stick with him. He had been playing great, and he missed the dunk. Just like I told him, Klay's missed shots tonight. I've missed them, and Steph as well. Just because you missed the dunk, still missed the shot. James Laughlin, our video coordinator, he came up to me right before this series started, and he said, hey, you've helped me a lot in growing since I've been here. And this series, we're going to need our bench a lot, and it's important that you stick with them and continue to give them confidence. And so for a second, I caught myself like, man, we could have cut that to 6, and and then we fouled him. And I was just like, it just came upon me to stick with him, give him some confidence. And sure enough, he had a dunk the next play, and he had a block. And so, I think that was an important moment. And it's, we always talk about the strength in numbers. That's coming from a video coordinator. You usually don't get that from a video coordinator, but it paid dividends for us tonight.
Jamal Corner, Reuters. Wanted to ask both of you guys two-part. Number one, the degree of difficulty of these wins the last 5 games, how much more satisfying does that make things? And then Draymond in the third quarter, after you guys made that run to go up by 1, I saw you had a short conversation with Seth, whom I'm sure you know very well. Just curious if you could share the nature of that conversation.
Want to answer the first part, G?
Sure. I mean, every win in the playoffs is extremely hard. Our record might be great the last 4 or 5 years, but it's really hard. And these, the game, like Draymond said, gets bogged down. It gets way more physical. And we just are grateful to be here, and we don't try to take any games off at this point in the year because we know one slip up can cost you a series. And just because we're up 3-0, the mission's far from finished. We still got 48 more minutes of basketball to play and get to a fifth straight finals, which just gets me excited thinking about it.
And Steph just came to me and he asked me how I was feeling. He said, when will you be ready to go back in? I said, well, give me a couple minutes and I'll be ready to go. And so then I saw him go back and talk to Steve, and I was expecting to probably go back in at like the 10-minute mark, and then our bench picked it up, and they took the lead from 1 point or 2 points to 8. And when that was a huge moment in the game, because I'm not gonna lie, after that third quarter I was a little gassed, and those extra couple minutes of sitting there, it really paid dividends to close out that fourth quarter for us. So the bench was huge tonight, and that's what that moment was about.
This one's for Draymond. Andrew Hodner from KZI 9 News. Jordan said that in the first half when everything was kind of sputtering, you were the one that kind of put them on their back and everybody followed your lead, especially for a guy like Jordan who, you picked him up after the dunk. Where do you see your role as someone when things aren't going well to just kind of say, you know what, I'm going to put you all on my back and get you into a mentality to win this game?
I wasn't necessarily a put them on my back type of mindset, more so than just let's try to get something going into the half. And as far as obviously I am one of the leaders of this team. In those situations, you either go one or two ways. You're either going to do your job and lift everybody up, or you're going to go the opposite way. My teammates always tell me, like, we follow your body language. And so in that moment, I just wanted to make sure my body language stayed positive, because I know no matter what, if we down 20 points at half, we can still win that game. And so we went in the half down 13 after I thought they had played an amazing half. And we said at halftime, 13 points is a 2-minute stretch for us if we lock in. And so I just wanted to try to get a little momentum going into the half, and we was able to do that, and then we came out swinging in the third quarter and changed the game.
Mike Richmond, NBC Sports Northwest. Draymond, with all the defensive pressure you guys have put on Dame, do you get a sense he's fatigued or tired?
I don't necessarily think he's fatigued. I think we're just throwing multiple bodies at him. They've had an incredible run thus far. They went 7 last series. They had OKC the first series, who was a tough team to play against. And so, we just want to try to wear guys down over the course of 48 minutes. It's not necessarily that he's going to start the game gas, but if you can just wear him down over the course of 48 minutes, that makes those shots as the game go on a little bit tougher. And so, that's been our plan, and we've done a pretty good job. But like Klay said, we got one more game to win, and we know Dame can get hot and change an entire series. So we just got to stay locked in because we know he's more than capable.
In the middle, please, in the back.
Mindy Bach, ABC 7 Sports. First to Klay and then to Draymond. We know that Draymond's always been the heartbeat of this team. That's what you guys have said. He brings the energy, he brings the emotion, but just his ability to also anticipate and vision and see ahead. How much have you seen him just improve over the past year or two and what he's able to do on the court in that? And follow up for you, Draymond. Could you have done what you're doing right now just a stretch or anything last year in the playoffs or the year before, or is it just a culmination now of just being with this group for so long?
Well, I think he has the most triple-doubles in Warrior history, especially in the postseason. So I don't think he's really improved. I just think he's been doing what he's been doing since he was at Michigan State, just being an all-around player. And see him continue to do this for hopefully another 10 years. But, yeah, I'm just proud of him and everybody else on this team, man, especially the bench. The bench, incredible, especially, and everyone's saying it's thin this year and all this, but they come to work every day. And, they follow our leaders, and it's a strength in numbers thing.
I hope I was capable of doing it last year, but I feel great, and just trying to bring whatever I got to bring to the table to help this team win, to help DeMarcus and Kevin get back out there on the floor, and that's my main objective, just to win as many games as we possibly can right now to get those guys back. When we have Steph, Klay, KD, DeMarcus. I mean, I don't need to play like that. And as crazy as it sounds, like somebody have to give up some when you have that many guys who are capable of doing what they're doing. You know, I take it upon myself to be the guy to give that up, you know, and, you know, I think I'm playing great right now, but I'm not the scorer that neither one of those four guys are. And so, you know, I can take the mindset of, so what, who's out here? I'm going to go score the ball. I think that's very stupid, in my opinion, because, you know, if I'm wide open and Klay's half open, I think it's still a better shot if I get a ball to Klay. So that's just my mindset when we got all our guys on the floor. But when they're not, you know, I have to have a different mindset and step up for the team, as everyone has stepped up their game a notch.
Third row on the right.
Draymond, Mark Schwartz, ESPN. Steve pointed out that at this point, you're not letting anything bother you. Turnovers, missed shots, and especially the officiating. Are you aware that you're not dealing with the officiating, and do you think that that helps the team when you're able to avoid those kind of confrontations?
I think so. I think it definitely helps the energy of guys. I still like to pick and choose my spots, and sometimes I may take a tech, and, you know, but that's more mindful than just getting a tech. You know, like sometimes I know, like, all right, we need an energy burst. Maybe I'll take one. But sometimes I'm not mindful and I'll get a tech, and then that just kind of killed the energy of our team. And so, you know, I've really been focused and locked in on that. And, you know, I realized I had got to a point to where I was doing more crying than playing. And I'm sure it was disgusting to watch because I felt disgusting playing that way. And I just wanted to, you know, lock back in on the game. I understand that, you know, officials aren't perfect. And, you know, I still have conversations with them now, you know, when they miss a call, but it's a completely different conversation. And, you know, my mom has been really big. My fiance has been really big on just kind of talking to me about that and telling me, you know, to stay locked in on the game. And, you know, I also have some little ones at the house that's enjoying watching me play. I don't necessarily want them to see that, so just try to be more mindful of it.
Last question up front here on the left.
Dieter Kurtenbach, Bay Area News Group, for either one of you guys. This organization has been proactive regarding rest in the regular season. Are you guys feeling the positive effects of load management at this juncture?
I think so. You know, like you said, Steve and, you know, our entire organization has been on board of, you know, making sure guys get as much rest as you possibly can through a rigorous season. It's a rigorous schedule. And especially right now with Kevin out, you know, those rest days back during the year, they make a difference for us. So, you know, that's been good, and sometimes it may cost you a game or two during the regular season, but it's more important to be healthy at this time of year, understanding that we're trying to play into mid-June every year. You know, it's good to be healthy. So I think it's making a difference for us.